is on the track.
Yeah, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy, Dead on Dave. Welcome back to the channel. It is Friday, of course. That means that it's time for your SmackDown review. We got a lot of stuff to get to. Of course, you know I have not watched SmackDown yet. I'm about to do that now. And as always, I will watch segment by segment and break down for you. First off, I want to give a quick shout out and thank you to my boy, RealTalk Jacques Davis, the Metaphor Messiah, for letting me use his track Nightmares as the new intro for Dead on Dave Productions reviews. Thank you very much. You are the man as always, and big things coming soon from him and myself. It's a little bit of collaboration, doing some things together, so that should be really exciting. So keep an eye out for that. Metaphor Messiah, check him out on SoundCloud. RealTalk. It's up in the little description box as well as the ticker up on top in yellow. All right, make sure you check him out. Now, let's get started for this week's SmackDown review. That's been a hell of a week. A hell of a week for the WWE. I mean, let's just face it, they've been doing it big. They've been going for it. Bigger than they have in a long time. I don't know if it's creatively. I don't know if it's just the wrestlers. I have no idea. But there's been something different recently within the WWE the last week or two where the programming has been really good. The shows have been fantastic. Everyone seems to be stepping up. So let's see if SmackDown continues that trend, or will SmackDown fall flat leading in to a no pay-per-view weekend. But you figure with Elimination Chamber just another 9 days away, they're going to want to keep the momentum going. So let's see if they do that. Let's jump right into it. It's time to start your SmackDown review. Let's go. Okay, about 14 minutes in, and after 12 of those being one of the most boring opening promos in recent SmackDown memory, I just have to say, come on, Roman, why can't you be interesting on the mic? What's so hard about inflecting? What's so hard about having emotion? What's so hard about turning a phrase? That's what I want to know, Mr. Reigns. You're too good looking. You're too attractive to be so dull. Why am I being stared at? Yes, I can say that man's attractive. You keep sleeping. My wife's actually sleeping. I wasn't being sexist. She was actually sweeping the floor, so there was nothing sexist about it. Please hold your letters. What?
I'm going to sweep the floor with you.
You're going to sweep the floor with me?
Yeah.
That was pretty lame. You're better than that. You're better than that. You have better comebacks than that.
I know. I couldn't think of it.
I'm disappointed. 12 years. I'm disappointed. See, I'll even help you out. For 12 years, you've been disappointed too. Oh, see, because that's making fun of my sexual prowess. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. The people are laughing, I'm sure. I did a joke for you. Anyway, I'm done with her right now. I'm done with you right now.
Do the show.
I am going to do the show. Well, hell, see, what was so hard about that? That was entertaining. Roman, why couldn't you be entertaining? Why couldn't you be interesting? Dean tries to come out and make it a little more interesting, and he does, because Dean is an interesting dude. But it's just only so much you can do with Roman Reigns. It's not captivating at all. I really wish that they would just make him the silent assassin, just no words, just coming in and beating the hell out of people. That's it, and be a bad guy. That's the obvious role for Roman Reigns. He looks like a dick. Make him a dick. What's so hard about that? He looks like an asshole. Make him an asshole. Dean Ambrose looks like a crazy person. So guess what? He's fucking crazy. What's so hard about this? It's A plus B doesn't have to equal 72. But that's what WWE... I know it doesn't make sense. That's why I said it. That's why I said A plus B doesn't have to equal 72. It equals C. A plus B equals X or Y or whatever you want to make it equal. But you know what I mean. Okay, I'm sorry. You know what? I don't ever get married. 1 plus 2 does not equal 74. Happy?
That's better.
That's better, but mine worked perfectly fine.
In the Roman Reigns world, maybe.
You know, do you want to have the Melanie show? Would you like to have the Melanie show? Would that be good? Want the Melanie show? I will make the Melanie show for you.
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Then stifle it, dingbat. Yeah. Stifle. Archie Bunker, All in the Family, classic television show, one of the greatest television shows in history. You're old as fuck. How do you not know these things?
Because I'm German and we didn't have that. We only had 3 channels.
You're still old. You should know it.
So,
Old people know things. It's the way of the world.
you're old too.
That was mean. My birthday was yesterday. That's
Yeah,
mean.
you're getting too old. I gotta find somebody else.
Hey, I'll be on a plane so quick. I'll be out this piece. You tell me. Go ahead. Have fun. Anyway, boring opening promo. Hopefully the rest of SmackDown will turn around because that was a boring opening promo. Hope you guys were enthralled by the trials and tribulations of the Vancura household once again on this episode of As the Fat Man Turns. All right, back to SmackDown. Let's see what they got in store. Please get better. Here we go. So about 26 minutes in, we got our first match just ended. Oh man, what a good match. I wish this is what should have kicked off SmackDown. It was high flying, it was acrobatic, it was intense, it was hard hitting. 4 corners tag team match, Lucha Dragons, the Los Matadores, Ascension, and Kid and Cesaro. I almost called him Mike Tyson. Kid and Cesaro, man, great match. Kid and Cesaro, not a lot to do in this match. The other 3 kind of ruled a lot. They did a lot more in the match, but everybody got offense in at the end. Very high flying. There was craziness. Everyone was going crazy. There was commentary going nuts because the New Day and the primetime players were there, and they were talking shit back and forth. You got King at the end of the match said he can't wait to see for these 2 guys to beat each other. We saw a La Parka mask in the crowd. That blew my mind. All kinds of crazy stuff going on in this match. Sin Cara tries to do one of those spinning corkscrew planchas that Kalisto does so well off the top rope onto the outside, and he cut through everybody basically and just splat himself on the friggin' ground. That couldn't have felt good. So yeah, crazy match, but really exciting and get everybody on their feet. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that match. It was. I can't wait to see these 6 teams in Elimination Chamber. I still wish Rowan and Harper were going to be in the match, but it's going to be exciting. I'm very much looking forward to see what they're going to pull off to make this match special at Elimination Chamber. First ever 6-team, first ever time the tag team titles were ever defended in the Elimination Chamber. So this is going to be really interesting to see how it goes. It's going to be great. Pretty excited about that. So what'd you guys think of that match? I thought it was a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and see what is next on Smack Diggity Down. Still around 26 minutes. They're recapping the Rusev-Lana situation. I think it's hilarious that Rusev and his weird accent that he does, he can't always hold it because he was like, "Get out of here! Get out of here!" It was kind of great. I don't know what that's about or why I felt the need to talk about it, but it made me laugh, so I decided to go ahead and put it right here. Let's get back to the recap, and then hopefully more in-ring action on Friday night, Thursday night SmackDown, jackass. Jesus. I'm tired. All right, back to the action, hopefully. About 29 minutes in, we get a highlight package of the Rusev situation. Dolph Ziggler in an interview with Renee Young. Dolph really does show why he is not higher on the card than where he is. You know, he can't talk, man. There's something about him. Everything that he says seems so forced. Nothing seems natural out of Dolph's mouth. That's the weird thing. And I like Dolph Ziggler. I think he's great. I love his performance in the ring. I think he's probably one of the top 5 or 6 in-ring competitors today. I think he's fantastic. But he just cannot get the emotions right when he's talking. It either feels forced, or it's just boring, or it's nonsensical. He flubs lines. And I know I'm being a little bit hard on the promos tonight, but I don't know. I'm in one of those moods, I guess. I don't really give a crap about this Lana Dolph Ziggler situation. And whatever gets her to get out of the pantsuit, or not pantsuit, the skirt suit, and into some hotter clothes, and drop that Russian accent. I don't care. Whatever it takes to get us to that point, that'd be great. I love that Rusev continues. Here's the one thing about Rusev. He continues to live in delusion land. Like, I know good heels usually do that, but he is taking it to the extremes. Like, when you ask me, he never lost to John Cena. He's still the United States champion. In this situation, Lana left him. I love it. I love that he's crazy. I hope they're going to be able to figure exactly what they want to do with Rusev. It looked like they were building him to be the next super villain, and now he's just kind of, I mean, he basically got buried by Cena, and I hate using that term because it's usually inaccurate, but he did. And now he's in a secondary feud with Dolph Ziggler. And the even worse, he's in a gimmick, or a angle within an angle. And that's never good, because you already have the angle of the Intercontinental title matchup inside the Elimination Chamber. And he's stuck inside the angle within the angle. And that usually does not end well for either of the people within the angle. So, I don't know. Pretty interesting. Let's see. It looks like we're going to get the King Barrett match versus Dolph Ziggler next. So let's check that out. Let's see what happens. Should be a good match. About 37 minutes in, and prophecy fulfilled. It was a very good match between Dolph Ziggler and King Barrett. Good back and forth. Dolph Ziggler is picking up matches, victories, which is pretty good. I find it odd that Barrett is losing clean as often as he is recently, especially coming off of the King of the Ring victory. You figure that would be something to propel him. I think the WWE is thrown just a little bit creatively. I think that they were expecting, and this goes back to before Payback when they made the change and put Dean Ambrose into the match. I think that they were expecting one thing to happen, and that triple threat to be able to carry itself through with those three. Of course, those three being Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. And when that match was getting absolutely no juice, they had to, add Dean Ambrose, which kind of altered things, made them realize a few truths. One of them being that Roman Reigns still isn't ready. Him being the next guy to be in a feud with Seth Rollins didn't make any sense. And Randy Orton, nobody knows what to do with Randy at this point. So having to add Dean kind of throws everything into flux, and maybe even prolongs plans for a guy like Wade Barrett, who, after winning the King of the Ring, seemed like a logical choice to move ahead forward into the main event picture, or at least start sniffing it. Why not put him with the Authority? Something. Switch out Kane with a guy like Sheamus or Barrett. Something like that. You would figure wouldn't be a terrible move to make. But they don't do that. Instead, they just kind of put him back into the Intercontinental title picture, which is fine, because you need to have as much star power in the Elimination Chamber match as humanly possible. But why have these guys trade victories with each other? I would much rather see some domination by a few of these guys, go on some really good runs, make them look strong. And it also, by doing that, you can cram more matches into an event and get some of your lower level guys, I don't know, like a Zack Ryder, a Heath Slater, maybe bringing in some new guys. You can achieve that by having individual matches, not against each other, the Elimination Chamber participants. So, I mean, there are ways to do that. It just seems like the roster isn't very deep right now. I'm trying to think of other lower level guys. I mean, Adam Rose, but other than that, there's not a lot of, those guys that you just see around anymore. It's just not a ton of them. At least we have a bunch of tag teams. For the first time in a long time, there are 7 tag teams that are all around on the main roster. At least 7 at my counting, and that's not even including the meta powers of Axel, Mania, and Macho Mandow. So it's technically 8. So it's just a little strange that you have all these tag teams and you got 6 of them going after the title, but you don't have a lot of depth in the singles division, it would seem right now, outside of your core 6 or 7 in the mid card. Then you have a floater like Bray Wyatt. So it just seems like creative is just kind of not exactly sure where they want to go. Somewhere between the main card and the mid card are guys like Ryback, who now seems to be stepping back into that mid card role. I think he's in the Elimination Chamber as well. You don't know exactly where people are floating. And that's a problem within creative, but I think it's really, in this situation, it doesn't seem to be their fault. This is one of those injury or not getting over situations, so they've had to kind of reassess and replan. The good thing is nothing is suffering in the ring. Good matches are still taking place, which I think is really helping hide some of the deficiencies creatively at the moment, which usually it's the other way around. At least it has been in the recent history. So that's kind of cool to see, and I'm hoping that will continue, and the good matches will kind of allow the cream to rise to the top, and it's always good when that happens. Sometimes this is the best way to let the roster suss itself out, is to just continue to let the flow go. You have a perfect main event rivalry that can last a while with Ambrose and Rollins. Let that carry through the summer, and then decide what you're going to do with the rest of the roster as far as the United States Championship, which, aside from his match with Kevin Owens, what's the long-term plan with that? Kevin Owens coming in, what's the plan with that? So there's a whole bunch of questions that need to be answered in the middle of the roster for WWE right now. We'll see what they end up deciding to do with it. But I think it's a good problem to have outside of not having enough guys maybe in the lower. The mid-card seems to be okay. It's that lower half that there doesn't seem to be a lot of depth in. I think that's what I was trying to get to, that I stumbled all over getting to. Apologize for that. Well, anyway, that's another discussion for another day. Let's go ahead and get back to SmackDown and see what is next on the show. A decent show so far. If I had to give the 2 matches ratings, I'd give the tag team match an 8 and a solid 8. I think it was a good match. Maybe 7.75, 7.5, but 8 I'll give it. And the Wade Barrett Dolph Ziggler match, I gave a 7. It was a good match. Good, maybe even 7.5. It was a good match. Both matches were very, very solid so far. So let's see what happens next on SmackDown. Let's go. About 47 minutes in, and I gotta say, I just watched one of the most impressive Diva segments I've seen in a long time. It wasn't a match, but Naomi Page on the microphone going back and forth against each other was absolute gold. I mean, there was a little bit of botching in some of the stuff, but I mean, it was really good. It was emotional. It made sense. There were some funny moments, but it was very well done, and it didn't lag either. That was the cool thing. It kept intensifying. Naomi was getting pissed, and it was really cool to watch, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed seeing that segment, and then having Naomi and Tamina get into the ring and beat down Paige was cool. Of course, Nikki comes out to make the save. The one part of it, Nikki tries to get out of the ring as Naomi and Tamina fled, and Nikki might have taken a stumble, but at least she got a piece of Tamina and Naomi to take them down, so it didn't look that bad. But she definitely tripped and fell, which was kind of funny. And then she returns to the ring just in time to when it looks like she was trying to help Paige. In fact, she blasted her and then hit her with a rack attack. So it looks like we are going to have a triple threat match for the Divas title at Elimination Chamber, and that's pretty cool. This match is set up, and it looks really, really good. 3 people that should be able to work well together. I'm God, you know what? Paige is gorgeous. I mean, that woman is absolutely gorgeous. All three of these women in this match are sexy in completely different ways. That's kind of the cool thing. Like, Nikki's got that straight out, like, hotness, the traditional hotness, we'll call it. The fake boobs, the ass and all that. It's just it's fake hotness, but still unbelievably hot altogether. I don't care about that. We'll call it Hollywood hotness. That's right. Nikki is Hollywood hotness. Paige has got that really goth, almost girl next door-ish kind of hotness about her, where she's just so naturally pretty. She really is. And then, like, just her style and flair kind of accentuate that. And then Naomi, who's just bang, that booty is amazing. I really think that just her whole image that she's changed since returning, or since changing her whole outlook, has helped everything with her. I think she looks more attractive. She's working a little bit better. Her mic skills are night and day better. So it's pretty cool to see what these three are doing and returning a little bit of relevance to that title as we await the people coming up from NXT. Now, the one person lost in this, of course, is Brie, who there were reports that she did get hurt, and it looks like it might be a possibility because she's on counseling duty, because apparently she can't deal with the Daniel Bryan being her. They could have written her out in a more clever way, I think. You got to get counseling. That's kind of funny. Yeah, Stephanie's awesome. So, all right, that wasn't a bad segment at all. I've heard a lot about this next segment. Bray Wyatt apparently gives a pretty damn creepy promo. Let's find out what that is all about, and I'll be right back in a moment. I don't know why I say let's go, I'll be right back, or let's get back to the action, because for you guys, it's just a weird jump cut. And I shout out a new number. And remember, all the numbers, all the when I shout out the minutes here, the time stamp of when I'm in SmackDown, that is without commercials. You got to remember that. That's important if you want to follow along at home. So I don't know why I continue to say that, because it's just like, it doesn't matter. But regardless, I'm going to check out the Bray Wyatt promo, and I'll be right back. So yeah, about 42, 43 minutes in, and yeah, we did get a creepy little promo from Bray Wyatt. I mean, more of the same that we usually get from him, but it's well done. You can't really complain about it too much. And it's about Dean Ambrose. I hope they're not getting back into an actual feud. I wouldn't mind Bray Wyatt being added to the mix of the main title picture. That would be kind of interesting. So we'll see where they decide to go with that. Let's check out the rest of SmackDown. Not much left, so let's check it out. About 53 minutes in, and we just got a short but decent little match between R-Truth and Cody Rhodes. Oh, I'm sorry, Stardust. Decent match. I mean, nothing special, though. These two have been having a lot of matches together lately, and R-Truth continues to get the better of him. It's another one of those questions. What happened to Stardust? Where is his place in things? So I don't know. It's weird. R-Truth might be on the verge of something a little bit bigger, more than he's had in a long time. He's won more matches than he has recently, and he has also been doing a lot of mic work and stuff. He was just in a really good angle leading into WrestleMania. So it's kind of interesting and cool to see him around there. At least maybe people will stop bitching about how R-Truth is used so badly. I don't know. But it's quite interesting. We'll see how it continues to go. Decent little match. I gave it, it wasn't very long, and that does affect it. So 6.5, 7. It wasn't a bad match by any stretch. So let's get back to it, shall we? Indeed, we shall. Right around an hour in, they went and recapped everything that happened at NXT TakeOver Unstoppable, and really they focused in on the Samoa Joe debut. They do call him Samoa Joe on SmackDown, which that should answer all the questions as to if he will be using the Samoa Joe name. That's pretty awesome. Once again, I just want to make a quick reference to how good Joe looked coming out there. He looked really good, in the best shape that I've seen him in a long time, so that's pretty exciting. And they did a good job of hyping Kevin Owens and John Cena. So we'll see where the rest of SmackDown goes. We're running out of show. What's going to happen? Let's find out. About an hour and 7 minutes in, we got the They're being called the Meta and Mega Powers. I don't know which one is actually going to be their nicknames. Of course, I'm talking about Sandow and Curtis Axel, and they took on Heath Slater and Adam Rose. God, I just don't care. It was cute. It was funny the first time. Now it's kind of sad. This whole thing is getting sad. That's not how this is supposed to work. That's not how any of this works. That's what it feels like when I see these guys out there. It just feels sad. I mean, it's not working. It's not that good. It's certainly not clever. It's been done before. And honestly, I'm tired of it. I don't want to see the mega powers out there. I don't care. I certainly don't want to see him beating up on Slater and Axel or Adam Rose. Who cares? Who cares? Really? I'd rather him repackage these guys a little bit and do something else with them. They're too good for this. Both of those guys are just so talented in the ring. And I don't know. We had all that build from the Mizdow situation, and now it just seems to have gone away. I just don't care. What do you guys think of Macho Man Dow? Are you as tired of it as I am? I mean, I feel like maybe I'm being a little harsh, but I just don't care. It's just sad to me. It seems sad. I will say this. Curtis Axel looks so much like Hulk Hogan, it's not even funny. When he's got the bandana on and he dyed his mustache yellow and everything, yellow, platinum, whatever, blonde, he looks just like him, except his arms. They're not there. But still, it's pretty interesting. I don't know. I can't do it no more. We're about done, so let's check out the rest of SmackDown. We're almost through. We're almost through, kids. Just hang with me for a few more minutes. Here we go. An hour and 10 minutes in. Speaking of things that I could just give a shit less about, Bo Dallas. What a stupid little promo he just cut. It was just so boring. Oh my God. And how many times did he say, that little bird, that little bird, that little bird? Get these people a thesaurus. Jesus. Let's figure out how to use different words for the same thing. Use copious. I don't know. There's plenty of things that he could have said instead of that little bird, that little bird. He just kept saying it. And he looks so I know he's supposed to, but for me, this Bo Dallas gimmick has never worked. I don't think it will ever work, at least not on the mainstream. There are some people who like it, and he's a good wrestler too, and that's unfortunate because he is a very good wrestler. But I don't know. I guess that situation with Neville was not just a write-off, maybe. So hopefully he's not actually hurt, but we'll see what happens. We didn't see Neville on this episode of SmackDown, but hopefully we'll see him soon. And we'll see if this feud with Bo Dallas does anything for Bo. Because let's face it, he's the only one who can really benefit from this feud. Neville's not. Neville leaves the main, the mid-card picture to feud with Neville. Or to feud with Bo Dallas. So, I don't know. I got to question this decision, but we'll see what happens. I think it's a main event time. Dean Ambrose, let's check out what he's got going on now. Let's see this match. All right, end of the show. And I loved that main event. Absolutely loved it. After 2 segments I hated, we got a really, really solid main event. And I'll tell you why. Because not only was it a really solid match between Ambrose and Wyatt, which they tend to work well together. It was a good match. Probably one of their best just straight singles competitions they've had. No gimmicks, no thrills, no nothing like that. It was just every bit as good as it was on Raw, which I thought that was a great match. Once again, J&J Security got involved. Did not work the same way it did on Monday. Roman Reigns came out, and you're wondering, well, what's going to happen with Roman Reigns? What's going to happen with Bray Wyatt? Well, boom, we got our answer because Roman cost Wyatt the match by giving him a Superman punch. So thus should be thrusting Roman Reigns, who has nothing else to do at the moment, and Bray Wyatt into a match with each other, and that should lead right into Money in the Bank. Either they'll be in that match together, or they'll have a singles match for a number 1 contendership. I think that's pretty interesting. That's pretty cool. This is exactly the feud that Roman Reigns needs. This makes sense. Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt makes sense to me. I give the main event, I give it an 8.5. It was really solid. It did a lot to help continue Dean Ambrose's rise, and it creates a new main card rivalry. Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. It's exactly what we need. We need Roman to do things like this. When he acts, it needs to be decisive and it needs to be impactful, and that's what we got. So this is exactly what we want to see out of 4 of the most important guys on the roster right now. Seth Rollins, Ambrose, Rollins, and Wyatt. All 4 got involved, had something to do, and they all really delivered. So even Rollins, just his appearance was enough because he's a champion. It's good to see him out there. He didn't have to do anything too impactful, but sending his jabronis, that was cool. I liked it. It was a really good main event. So I give the show overall 7. 7. I think a 7 minus. I can be talked out of the 7s easy, but I give it a 7. It was a good show. I mean, all in all, it was decent. There was, you know what? The more I think about it, 6.5. 6.5 because those 2 segments towards the end killed it for me. So 6.5, 6.75. I can't quite give it a 7. Can't quite give it a 7 as much as I want to. Can't quite do it. Other than that, hey, make sure you guys are checking out everything that's going on in the channel. We got all kinds of stuff. I'm also working out of Tommy's channel, Tommy C, over at Shot from the Point. I'm doing In the Crease. I've done 2 episodes over there. I'll be handling it all next week as well. So make sure you're checking not only my channel out, but Tommy C's channel, Shot from the Point. And, of course, Joe Cronin. You see all his information right in the bottom right corner of the screen. Make sure you're checking out every single review that Cronin does, as well as all the other videos that he puts out throughout the week, because they're all fantastic. So make sure you're checking out the one, the only Joe Cronin at The Joe Cronin Show. Once again, I want to give a quick thank you to RealTalk, the Metaphor Messiah, Jock Davis, for allowing me to use his song Nightmares, which you can find along with all of his other music on SoundCloud. So make sure you check out Real Talk on SoundCloud because it's awesome and he's awesome. So make sure you check that out as well. Also, if you want to support and represent Dead on Dave Productions, you can go over to Dead on Dave Productions at Spreadshirt.com. All shirts and merchandise there designed by the great Isaac Rojas, who also has done most of my graphics along with Dave Rose, Missy Dave Rose. And so, yeah, make sure you check that out. Support, represent the channel. Other than that, I think we're about out of here. So somebody cue the music. That's right.
The noise on the track.
Well, make sure you guys check us out all week, and we'll see what's going on tomorrow right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Great things happening. Make sure you check it all out, and we will see you next time. Remember, kids, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Peace!
Okay, real talk the truth, no problem, just shooting niggas. Graveyard flow, one person start spooking niggas. Case of loose spouse, call me Mr. Run Through a nigga. Ken and Ryu.